So the function f of x equals 2x minus 1 is a one-to-one function. Find the inverse of f and check the answer. So find the domain and range of f and also the inverse of f. And then we want to graph f and also its inverse and the line y equals x. So we have to actually graph three things all on the same graph. So to find the inverse of the function, so again we have f of x equals 2x minus 1. Notice that the first thing we're doing is we're multiplying by 2. And then we're subtracting 1. So the inverse function should do the opposite. So it should add 1 and then divide by 2. So that's what the inverse should look like. And if I want to divide both pieces by 2, it'd be like 1/2 x plus 1/2. So notice how it's actually a linear function as well. So if you can't think backwards, what you can do is you can write f of x is going to be 2x minus 1. Remember, f of x is the same thing as the y, it's the output. So to find the inverse, you actually have to switch the rows of x and y. So you switch the rows of x and y, and you solve for y. So if I want to find the inverse, the y has got to turn into an x, and the x has got to turn into a y. So we would have 2y minus 1 is equal to x. We would add 1 to both sides. 2y would equal x plus 1. Then we would divide both sides by 2, and y would equal x plus 1 over 2. So that's how you can actually do it mathematically, by switching the rows of x and y and solving for y. So both of them are lines. So again, since they're both lines, the domain of f is just going to be all real numbers. Let's see, I got something mixed up here. Overlapped a little bit. So the domain, again, is just going to be no domain restrictions, all real numbers. And remember, a line, there is no lower bound or upper bound. So the range is also going to be the set of real numbers for the function. And then if I talk about the inverse, they're also going to be, since it's a line, there aren't any domain restrictions. In a line, there's no lower bound or upper bound. So it's kind of cut and dry there on that, since it's linear. So we kind of got out easy on that. So what they want to do is they want us to graph these on a graph. Now the easiest way to graph this is, if I look at f of x, it's 2x minus 1. If I want to make a little bit of a table, so notice that if I put 0 in for x, 2 times 0 is 0 minus 1 is -1. Remember, that's the y-intercept is -1. If you put a 1 in for x, 2 times 1 is 2, minus 1 is 1. So that's how your slope is, your y should change by 2, and your x's should change by 1. So notice that I did change by 2, and I did change by 1 there as well. So if that's the 2 points on the function f, then the order pairs for the inverse should be -1, 0, and this 1, 1 would also exist on that. So if I want to try to graph these, I want to see if we just graph these 2 points to graph these lines. Let's see if we can get this to work. So these are lines, so I'm going to use this tool here. So click the graph to plot the first point on your line. So 0, -1, that shows up. And then 1, 1. That looks good. So there's my first line. And then my next line would be -1, 0. And then 1, 1 again. And then the line y equals x would be the third thing we need to do. So it's 0, 0, 1, 1, or 2, 2. That don't look right. Something happened there on the last one. All right, so let's try it again. So 0, -1, 1, 1. Then -1, 0, 1, 1. And then hit line again, and let's do 0, 0, and 1, 1. They didn't like that again. All right, let's try that third one again. So 0, 0. And then let's see here. Let's just see if we can do like -2, -2, and then 2, 2, or 4, 4. There you go. As long as the y and x are same, looks like it took it that time. So let's clear this off again. Let's just see if we can practice that a little bit. So 0, -1, 1, 1. I'm looking at my little order pairs up there. And then notice that the order pairs are kind of up in this little region over here to the right. Hit the line again, this will be the inverse, is -1, 0. And 1, 1 is the point that we had. And then the third line, 0, 0 is what I was wanting to use. And 1, 1, let's just use 2, 2. That seems to be doing better for us. So hit save there and check. It does give us the correct answer. So that's kind of how you do the graph part. It's a little tricky.